Hey, it's the holiday wrapped episode. Got some cool new gear. Happy to be here with you all. Excited for what we've got in store. A whole wrap up of our year. Great stuff to talk about, great stuff to share. It's been amazing. See you in a minute. That was such a good episode that we didn't record. Let's start over.
I will challenge you on that because the title of this show is Yo Munir. Call us.
Call
Leave a
us.
comment below. Wow. Wow. What a show.
Yo, Rob.
Yo Munir.
How you doing?
What's going on, brother?
You know, we're doing our thing.
Yo Munir. Who's in the room with us today? Well, Munir, we have a very special Yo Munir today. As you can see, our good friend Ken Gibbs Jr. has joined us. I don't know if he phrases it that way.
Marsha.
I think I'm losing count. Yo!
We didn't know it at the time, but this is a phrase that kind of stuck.
What I took away, not what the actual number might be, right? But I took away that was like 75% of long LinkedIn posts were likely AI generated, and the post and the commentary was that in a world of AI slop, uh, how are we going to separate the wheat from the chaff, the signal from the noise, the good stuff from the bad, and the human authenticity, which becomes now what people are talking about as the cachet, the value, authenticity from noise, basically, and just a bunch of stuff that we're throwing out there because we don't care. We've talked about this before. We've so over optimized ourselves that the white space, that time to think, has gone away. And you know what? It is related, because somewhere related to this process of AI slop was the importance of somebody called it like the noodling, the doodling, the writing down, the scratching up of a draft and throwing it away. And what you're doing is providing yourself the gift of thought. And that process of writing and throwing away is part of the process of creation. And we have so over optimized ourselves to delivery that the reflection, the time for reflection, the time to create, to have that aha moment, is getting lost. And I think that what you're doing is fabulous.
Well, thank you so much, brother.
Of course.
That's a very nice compliment.
Tools are great, but if nobody uses them or there's resistance, it's kind of like, what's the point of the tool? Even if it's you got a Ferrari in the garage, but nobody wants to drive it. So, if instead you have the Yugo that, actually is useful and everybody is willing to take it out around the corner. I know.
I'm going to disagree. I'm going to disagree. I think adoption is great. I don't think adoption is necessary to derive value.
So one is about celebrity tequila. So
in 2025, this is a topic?
Well, the individual that posted about it is exactly that. He's like, post Casamigos, there have been 40 other brands and only 2 or 4 have survived post Casamigos. But it touches on things that you and I have spoken about, which is authenticity. The fact that, his point being that when Clooney created Casamigos, he was doing it to solve a problem that he and his friends, his co-founders, had, which was, how do we find good tequila? And that these other people all just jumped in with a business plan and marketing, but not with authenticity. Technology has a place, and for all of the concerns that sometimes people have with technology, it's about, again, within the context of the tools and ensuring that we're using it in a proper way and not losing ourselves in them or not over relying. It's that fine balance you and I talk about a lot. Um, and this one's a good one.
Not to belabor the Sora 2 point, we could probably talk about it every week. But I did receive some text messages of enthusiasm created by Sora 2 around the college football weekend. And so it's as a use case, better emojis, better GIFs.
That's great insight. I have a WhatsApp group with a group of college buddies. I was in a fraternity, so these are fraternity brothers, and we still keep in touch years later. And a few folks were definitely using Sora as a way to um, bring the conversation collectively back together, and it was amusing. Some of them are funnier than others, but it is a way to express oneself.
Well, I guess how would we know what funny is if there weren't examples of things that we didn't find funny?
Very good. I will bring that up to them next time I find something that's decidedly not funny or off color.
I am really, really excited to introduce us to Heidi Bianchi. She is the founder of the Bridge Event Agency, a boutique event agency that creates high impact corporate events, intentional team meetings, and meaningful gatherings that drive connections and results. And Rob, because that has been so much in our LinkedIn feed about how AI and the movement of marketing from all this digital and AI slop to actual real connections with people makes this even more special because Heidi's going to illuminate how real in-person events help us connect and help business people market, but also drive connections with their customers and make better experiences. Heidi's got over 2 decades of experience, including 12 years leading events and strategy at Silicon Valley Bank. And she has a reputation for designing experiences that are going to connect us. She is passionate about building community through intentional gatherings and helping her clients bring their stories, Rob, because that's what we talk about all the time, stories to life. Heidi, welcome.
That's a lot of like I have to live up to here, so no pressure, no pressure.
Well, Heidi, not only that, I was actually hoping you could tell us if in real life events are going to save our fractured, polarized society as well.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's all.
I got a lot riding on in person here, so I'm hoping that you
Me
have good
too, Rob.
news.
Me too. Like, oh my God. So yes, I guess the answer immediately is yes. It will for us all.
Oh my gosh.
Well, we definitely believe in that. And Heidi, I think I have been, because Rob always asks me what's in my LinkedIn feed. And what's always great is Heidi is always at some amazing, interesting place doing amazing, interesting things with people. So if you can talk about, something that's happened over the last 6 to 12 months, what's your favorite event? You don't have to be specific about clients if there's NDA things, but just tell us like what was the most exciting thing that's happened in the last 6 to 12 months in the event space at your agency.
I think this last month, even so, the month of October, we did 13 events. So in 1 month. So that's pretty exciting for a company that's been around officially like 3.5 years. So October is a big month for events in general all over the country, not just the Bay Area. I'm based in the Bay Area. I've done what I'm seeing and what my clients are doing is, they're really wanting to bring their clients together. So they are doing whatever they can to have everyone gather and meet and connect. And the biggest thing that I see and that I push for is the why. Why are we doing that?
One of the things that, because we had discussed, Munir and I had discussed creating for the algorithm versus the audience. I just love a little take right now on what you're seeing in your LinkedIn feed, and also the algorithm versus audience as a marketer is kind of a is it brand or audience in some regards too. I don't know if that
Yes, because each brand is going to approach the algorithm differently, right? I think like a sports brand, for instance, versus a financial company, right? Each of them will approach it very differently and find ways to ride and exploit it very differently, right? Um, what I'm seeing in my LinkedIn feed right now, a lot of conversations about what is TV, right? YouTube is taking over. Everyone is seeing that top the charts in all metrics from a viewership perspective. And I think for me, what that is going to force us to all question and really recognize, because it's only going to get worse going forward for the established industry, is the distinction between the industry and the audience, right? There is a TV industry, but to the audience, there is a TV in the room, right? And now that audience has the opportunity to put whatever they choose on that TV in the room. We've got TVs in our pockets and TVs in the room. And that's really how the audience looks at this, right? They watch the same YouTube that they watch in the big screen in their pocket now, right? If you're watching something as an individual within a room, a connected room, as more and more will be going forward, you can put it on the screen for us all to share right now. That is the experience that the audience expects and that they are now gravitating to as the numbers are showing. The TV industry, right, is like the same product built around an economic structure that's no longer sustainable because of that consumption habit and expectation of the audience. Right? And I think like where everyone's like, oh, that's not TV. I think this is also something in hindsight that we can see has always proven out this theory. Fast and Furious is not winning any Oscars, right? No shade, right? I love it, right? And I know you got a connection to Luda, right? But the people give it an Oscar every time it comes out. Why? Because it wins the box office. They go, right? But we've got this award show ceremony that's celebrating the industry. And now that distinction is really being called into question. That's my little pulpit speech.
It's profound. And if you think about audience first and industry starts to get built up upon itself, and you see these tactile shifts, you saw it with music, something you can speak to as well, and the atomization of an album and the fact that all albums now can be in your pocket as well. Um, how do you see there's a consumer led adoption phase. There was a time when we created content differently for the small screen versus the big screen, but you're tapping into something very profound in the fact that you can actually now create content to be ubiquitous because it's going to be, to your point, the ability to share what's in my pocket to the screen with people is interesting. This was, we have no money, but we have content. And so how can we leverage our content in a meaningful way with our audience? We talked about this too, Rob, audience development. So, and starting with what Heidi said to us last week about the why, like, why are you doing these things, right? So our why was we want to be everywhere and everything to college kids because we know that they play our sports games, all of them, not just college basketball and college football. But my purview as a part, this was the other great thing about the EA Sports marketing team. We were a team. So regardless of what product you had, you wanted the team, the EA Sports team, to succeed. Yet, as a team member, there was also internal competition. So you also wanted to beat your team member to make the whole team better.
I'm excited to report that I am learning, which is a victory. I judge both my interest in something and my success in how much I'm able to learn. And I've just been learning so much. So super excited about that. Actually, I'm going to call somebody out because they're both a friend and a prospect. Mike Moutino. Mike, dear friend from Major League Baseball days. He's been at MasterCard for years. We had a very lovely conversation this week. And so I'm grateful for him and his time. And yeah, been walking consistently, which is great. That started in August. And I've been really making time each day. And when I'm not, I'm supplementing that with stretching and other things. And so very, very excited to continue that process. And by the way, those walks also provide me with content for our show. Yeah. How about you?
I love it.
Yeah.